wind howled across the icy tundra, carrying with it the faint scent of something metallic, something alien. The research station, a hulking structure of steel and reinforced glass, stood isolated against the endless white expanse. Its name, Outpost Erebus, was etched into a frost-covered sign near the entrance, barely visible under the layers of ice. Inside, the station was a labyrinth of dimly lit corridors, humming machinery, and the occasional flicker of fluorescent lights. It was a place of science, of discovery, and, for the last 6 months, of silence. Dr. Elena Marlowe adjusted the collar of her thermal jacket as she stared out of the observation deck's reinforced window. The storm outside was worsening, the snow falling in thick, relentless sheets. She had been stationed at Erebus for nearly a year, studying the unique microbial life found in the permafrost. But the last transmission from the outside world had been months ago, and the team had been left to fend for themselves. The station's communication array had gone dark, and no one had come to investigate. It was as if the world beyond the wall of ice had forgotten them. Elena turned away from the window, her breath visible in the cold air. The station's heating system had been failing for weeks, and the temperature inside was dropping steadily. She made her way down the corridor, her boots echoing on the metal floor. The others were gathered in the mess hall, their faces drawn and tense. There were 6 of them left now: Elena, the station's lead biologist; Dr. Marcus Hale, the geologist; Lieutenant Caravas, the security officer; and 3 technicians, Jean, Patel, and Ramirez. They had started with a team of 12, but accidents, illness, and the unrelenting cold had whittled their numbers down. "Anything on the comms?" Marcus asked as Elena entered the room. He was seated at the table, a steaming cup of coffee in his hands. His beard was thicker than when they had first arrived, and his eyes were shadowed with exhaustion. Elena shook her head. "Nothing. The storm's too heavy. Even if someone were out there, they wouldn't be able to reach us." Kara leaned against the wall, her arms crossed. She was the youngest of the group, but carried herself with the confidence of someone who had seen too much too soon. "We need to start thinking about our options," she said. "If help isn't coming, we can't stay here forever. The supplies won't last." "And go where?" Patel asked, his voice tinged with frustration. "We're in the middle of nowhere. Even if we could get the snowcats running, we'd never make it to the next outpost in this weather." Elena sighed and took a seat at the table. "We'll figure something out. We always do." But deep down, she wasn't so sure. The isolation was getting to all of them, and the constant cold was wearing them down. They were scientists, not survivalists. The thought of venturing out into the frozen wilderness was as terrifying as it was impractical. That night, Elena lay in her bunk, staring at the ceiling. The storm had quieted, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. She was on the verge of sleep when a sound jolted her awake. A faint metallic clang, like something hitting the station's outer hull. She sat up, her heart racing. The sound came again, louder this time, followed by a low, guttural growl that sent a chill down her spine. She grabbed her flashlight and stepped into the corridor. The lights were flickering, casting long shadows on the walls. The growl came again, closer now, and Elena's breath caught in her throat. She turned a corner and nearly collided with Kara, who was also armed with a flashlight and a pistol. "Did you hear that?" Elena whispered. Kara nodded, her expression grim. "It's not just us. The others heard it too."